Okay, so we are starting 7.4 today, part 3. So today's difference is now we have a leading coefficient. So we have to see if we can factor it out, if we have to use the bubble method. So we have a 3 in the first one. That's the only factor of 3. 13 does not have a 3, so we know we're going to have to use bubble method. So 3 and 56. This tells me different signs. Bigger number, positive. So the only way to get 3 is 3 and 1. To get 56, we have 1 and 56. We have 2 and 28. That's not how you write 28. 3 should not go into it. 4, let's see. 56 divided by 4. Yep, 4 and 14. 5 doesn't go into it. 6 doesn't go into it. 7 goes into it. Okay. So we have all of these options. But we know one of them is going to have to be negative. So let's make the smaller numbers negative on this case. And then we have the options of the bigger number being negative. Okay, so now we've accounted for all of them, and now we're going to work through them. So 3, and then let's do... We've talked about this before. When you look at these, there are certain ones that are just too big. 3 times 1, negative 1 or positive 1, and then 1 times 56. It doesn't matter. It's never going to get close to 13. You can't add to get it close to 13. We could potentially create something close with the next one, so we'll try it. So we have negative 2 and 28. So we can do 3 times negative 2. So that's negative 6. 1 times 28 plus 28 equals 22. We know that didn't work. So let's go this way and try the other one. So then we have 3 times 28. That's going to be too huge. It's not going to work. So we know this isn't going to be an option. And because we know if we do it with the negative, switch the negative displacement, it's just going to make this a negative 28. We know that one also can't be an option. So we're going to move on. 4 and 14. So again, we are looking for this to add to 13. So we have 4 times 3, which is 12. Ooh, I have a negative 4, negative 12, plus 14. And that gives me 2. So that's not going to work. So then let's switch it up. 3 times 14. Again, it's going to be too much larger. 3 times 14 is 42. Minus 4 is going to give me 38. If you switch the negatives on these, it's still going to be where it doesn't work for us, because it's only going to be a negative 2 or a negative 38, so we know those aren't going to be the options. So one of these last group is going to be what has to work for us. So let's try it and hope for the best. We have negative 7 and 8. So we have 3 times 7, which is 21, so negative 21, plus 8. So negative 21 plus 8 gives me a negative 13. Oh, look at this. We know that one's not going to work. Because the negative 13, that means the other one should work for us. So instead of trying to flip it, let's just switch where the negative is. So on here, instead of this being a negative 7, let's make it a negative 8, and let's see if this helps. So we end up with 3 times 7, which is 21, plus negative 8, which gives me a positive 13. That's the one I'm looking for. So we know that this one here is our winner. So we end up with 3x, 1x. Remember, the leading terms come from here in our parentheses. And then with ones that are connected with a line can't be in the same. So 3 can't be in the same connection as 7. So the 7 has to go over here. The negative 8 can't be in the same one as the 1. Let's go over here. Equals 0. We set each of them equal to 0 now to see which ones are going to be solutions or what our solutions are going to be. We're going to solve for x, add 8 to both sides. We get 3x equals 8, divide by 3, 8 over 3, x equals 8/3, or subtract 7, and we get x equals -7. So either one of these would be a solution to our equation. Okay, so this one's been a while. If you guys remember, we learned this specifically, a squared minus b squared equals a minus b times a plus b. Well, here you have x squared minus 6 squared. So we know this factors is x minus 6, x plus 6. Set them equal to 0. X minus 6 equals 0. X plus 6 equals 0. Add 6 to both sides. X equals +6. Subtract 6. We get x equals -6. So either 6 or -6 would create this equation to be 0. Okay, and then we're here. We know that this one's not going to work because it's not in standard form, so we got to get it equal to 0. Add 40 to the other side. We get 3x squared plus 23x plus 40 equals 0. This tells me same sign. This tells me positive. We have to use bubble method because there's a leading coefficient that's not factor outable. Can't factor it out. So that's 3 and 1. And then factors of 40. So we have 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, 5 and 8. Okay, since we both know that both signs have to be positive, I don't have to do any switching of stuff here. We need it to add to 23. So 1 and 40, no matter how you do it, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 40 is 40. They add up to be bigger. Okay, so now we can look at the next one. So we have 2 and 20. So you have 2 times 3. That gives me 6 plus 1 times 20. That's 20. That gives me 26. That's not going to work. So let's try it when we switch these. We're going to cross. 3 times 20 is 60. We see this isn't going to work. It's too big. Okay. Sorry, my pen's breaking a little right now. I've been recording a lot. So next one up, let's change my color. We have 4 and 10. Okay, again, reminder that we're trying to get 23. So 4 times 12, or 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 10 is 10. That gives me 22. So that's not going to do it. Let's swap them. 3 times 10 is 30. Plus 4, too big. Not going to be mine. So we're at 5 and 8. So again, we're looking for 23. 5 and 8. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to do that over here. 1 times 8 is 8. 15 plus 8 is 23. So we see that's the one we need. So when we write this out, you end up with 3x, 1x. They're both going to have the same sign. 3 can't be in the same one as 5, so that means 5 has to go over here. 1 can't be in the same one as 8, so 8 has to go over here. To solve this, you got to set each of them equal to 0, so 3x plus 8 equals 0, or x plus 5 equals 0. Subtract over 8. We get 3x equals -8 divided by 3. X equals -8 divided by 3. Or we had subtract over 5. X equals -5. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any questions on this. Good luck.